So along the back edge of our property here, before it enters into the forest, we have this scrub area, and we thought that this would be a good place to plant our elderberries. We wanted to get a start here, so I think I'm going to spread all 4 along this section here. Always coming to investigate anything new, and he brings the girls. What's up, old boy? I know you want to see what's going on. I didn't find any worms yet. So I have my hole dug here, and I dug the hole down deeper than the start, about, I'd say 18 inches down. And why I did that is because I want to crumble up the bottom of the hole. I want it to be nice loose soil. I want to get all the rocks out of here, any roots. But the whole key is that we want it to be nice and soft and crumbly, so that the roots can easily adhere and move through the soil. Which is why I'm going to add, there you go, ladies, those crazy chickies heading off with my bushes. So you want it to be nice, crumbled soil here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this willow branch here, and I'm just going to make a little ring. I'm going to place that right in the bottom. And then a tip my friend taught me was to water your hole in first and let that soak down in. And then I'm going to take the cutting, I'm going to hold it right in the center of that ring. And I'm going to add this peat moss and a little bit of compost right around, filling up the bottom layer of that hole. And then what I'm going to take and do is crumble my dirt back into the hole. I make sure to get out all the roots and whatnot. So then, once I have the soil back in the hole, I'm going to gently compress it downwards. And I say gently because I'm not crushing all that soil back into the same compacted state it was when I dug it up. I'm putting enough pressure to let the dirt envelope the cutting and yet not strangle it. And I'll go ahead and do that again. Throw some more dirt back into it. And I'm going to take some more of this. Sprinkle a little layer up here. A little clay soil here. Now, as you can see, I still left a little bit of the hole here, kind of as a mound around the outside to collect any extra rainwater to the center here. I'm going to keep that mound up here. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to camouflage it back in. Just collect some leaves. I don't want anybody digging at this. And I know I spoke briefly earlier about making covers, which I'm going to go find some wire from the pile here. And just make little tent hoods for them. Because not only will chickens tear these up, but we also have deer that will easily munch these here. As you can see, right here's a buck rub. So they like to travel through the yard here. So I don't want to offer them a free snack on their visit. So that little bit of chicken wire or hard wire will help deter anyone from eating our newly planted cuttings. They can wait to do that until they're established, and then we can share all of it with nature. So as you can see, I found some old pieces of hard wire here down in the junk pile. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cage for each of the cuttings. And I'm just going to take and literally roll it like so. Now, by no means does this need to be perfect. All you're doing is protecting your cutting. You're not trying to win some garden award. So, you get it nice and bent. Just like this circular. There we go. And I'm just going to take a zip tie. Run it through. Now usually for this I will use colored zip ties just because it sticks out to me, but it really doesn't matter. As long as you have something to fasten it together, you could even just use the wire, crimp it together. We have our nice round opening at the bottom. What I'm going to do is go ahead and zip tie this one. Just like that. So as you can see, we have our nice round opening here on the top. I'm just going to simply take and squeeze it together like this and just bend it into itself. You may want to use gloves in this case. Just be careful. There are sharp edges in hard wire. And all I'm doing is creating like the end of an envelope. That way, the deer can't stick its head down in through the top to munch the leaves off your precious cutting. So just like that, and then I will go ahead and put these ones together, and then I'll show you what we'll do with them after that. Alright, so then what you're going to want to do is just make sure you gently place it over top of your cutting, like so. And then I grabbed a few sticks, and I'm just going to sharpen one end of them. And then we'll just take and slide that down into the ground like so. That way no one knocks them over while they're perusing them. And put one on the opposite side. Like so. Now if you wanted to, you could use tent stakes. I'm sure there's something you could buy, but why buy it when it's here? So I may stick another one in here just to make sure it stays nice and tight. And then the cutting is protected from any perusing animals, chicken or otherwise. And that's how I protect my cuttings. Alright, so here are our elderberry starts 16 days later. You can see it's really leafing up nicely there. And then we have this one here. And this one here. And this one here. So they've all grown more foliage, and I'm assuming they're growing better roots. I have had to cover them over with these plastic containers through the 3 different snowstorms that we had and several different nights of below freezing temperature. But I think they worked well. Looking really good. And so basically that's how we plant our elderberry start. The same way that we would plant our blueberries or any other berries. Same way we would actually plant a tree. We want to get that hole down there and make that soil nice and soft so that the roots can easily grow through it. We don't want to pack it in there. And instead of going out and buying some rooting powder or other chemical substance to enhance the ground, we simply put that ring of willow in there, which, as we said before, has the indole-butyric acid in it that causes root growth. So if we have a natural source of it here in the yard, why not use it?
I found that willow tree several years back, probably about 8-9 years ago. It was dying on clearance, so I picked it up and not really expecting too much, but we got it to root and it's been thriving ever since.
Yeah, now it's like 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
And actually a couple years back, during the winter thaw, it like fell over. And so we tried to raise it back up, but we couldn't get any traction on the quad, or sure as heck couldn't get the truck back there. So now it grows like a hedge. The main trunk is out this way and all the branches coming up this way. So we just shear them off, plant them around the yard. We have a constant source of root growth. So until next we meet, be well.